Hello, Belinda Woolrych here and welcome. Thank you for attending this online workshop wherever you are and whatever time it is in the world. It is great to have you here online and we appreciate your time and effort to be on board. Our best wishes to you, your family and community and friends. A bit more about me. I'm Belinda Woolrych. I'm a downsizing expert after project managing hundreds of downsizes and helping people through this transformation over the last decade. I'm also an author of the book Rightsize Your Home, The Empty Nester's Guide to a Stress-Free Downsize. I am also the Director of Learning at rightsizeyourhome.com.au, where I have written and designed several courses to help people in their downsize and get in control of this journey. What are we going to cover today? Well, what will you learn? We're going to cover, because this is week 3 of the 4-week challenge for decluttering, I'm going to recap the homework. I'm going to talk about roster and rewards, which is one of my favorites of the Declutter Challenge, what you will need to get the declutter done, and tackling each space, and then top tips to challenge for the challenge for your homework. So a bit of a recap. Last time we talked about setting an end date, sketching your desired calendar, and listing your identified key support team. So just a bit more on that, and I hope you went well with that. The end date, why did we make that a significant importance? Because having an end date means that your plan comes together. Anything that you verbalize or commit to really helps you actually take the action. So I know it's very easy for downsizers to say, or potential downsizers to say, I really do want to do this, but unless you can actually say, by Christmas next year, or by the time my daughter has her baby, or by the time we've got our group coming over for a celebration, that can be the last time or the first time in our new home. So selecting that end date is critical. What was yours? I hope you selected one. And even in some challenging times, still worth having that commitment, because still you can keep working through. You really are in control of this. Now, sketching out your desired calendar, once you have the end date, that was about working backwards to your calendar and sketching out the particular areas and when on your calendar. So I'm going to complete this section or that section or this activity or that task or whatever it might be, dropping something back to someone, whatever it might be, sketching out that desired calendar, really working back from the end date that you've identified, gives you a real project plan. And then of course the last one was identifying your support team. There are some key people involved in a right size. And it's really critical in my experience, and my recommendation is to always work with a professional that specializes in the area. So it might be a financial planner, or it might be a buyer's agent or a property makeover specialist, something like that. You really need that trusted team in your hands and close by and well briefed on what your project is has involved, and also when your timeline, etc., etc. So they can be with you each step of the way. All right, so moving through to the first section in this week 3 being roster and rewards. Why do we do rosters and why do we do rewards? So continuing on from setting that calendar, of course, critical to have your roster. I like to think that if you can view this downsize, or right size, as I like to call it, it actually ends up being your part-time job. So a right size is not something that you can squeeze into a Thursday night or a Friday night. It happens over many months, and often people are planning for it over a couple of years potentially. So you've got your end date in your calendar now, you've worked back and you've chunked down the property and the jobs that you need to do. Now it's about rostering you in that. When I've been speaking at my live events, we talk about rostering yourself like that part-time job, but picking out your most useful days for a right size. So there'll be some days where you may have commitments. Typical commitments for downsizers, potential downsizers, are things like looking after grandchildren every Monday, or they might be going to bridge every Thursday. It might be I've played golf on Wednesday for the last 10 years. I don't want to change it now. Absolutely fine. In fact, it's critical that you do keep going with a lot of your normal activities. What I'm asking you to do when you come up with a roster for yourself is to work out that the best day for you and possibly a partner if someone's living with you at home, where you can actually chunk out some time and actually schedule it into your roster like that part-time job. For example, a good part-time roster for a right size in preparation of the property would be Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. till 5 p.m., for example. You may also have an opportunity to share this load with a friend. So if you've got someone in your inner circle, of course, get some help, and you could trade rosters. So you could trade some time. So if my friend comes and helps me on Wednesday from 2 till 5, I will help her or him on Friday from 2 till 5. Often having someone help you can be so motivating and really, really help with the logistical challenges that are involved, not only on the emotional side, but the physical side as well. So think about this job as yours. It's a part-time right-sizing job. You're presenting your house or decluttering your house. It's going to take a number of months to do or a number of weeks to do. And if you roster in that calendar, you'll then be able to create those shifts, for example, for your part-time job on the Wednesday and the Friday. And you can keep motivating yourself if someone is coming around or you're attending someone else's property and you're trading those hours as well. It's a great trick because it keeps you motivated and keeps you going. It's on your calendar and you need to go to work as such. The other thing which will be helpful is ensuring that your family and friends know that this is a commitment time. You may even have them volunteer. They may come over to your place and help you. So it's really important to make it known, have it down on the calendar, and make sure you're adhering to your part-time job roster, and then things will really, really happen. The other side to rostering is the rewards. This is critical to have on your calendar. This is my favorite bit. So you need to add the rewards into your calendar, and you can treat yourself if you're sticking to the plan. So what is it that you enjoy doing? You may have a meal out. You may love a golf weekend away. You may want to get a classic car hire for the day. You might like to get your hair done. You might want to get a massage. Could be anything. I'd love to hear about it, so do tell me. But these ones are often favorites. So make sure they're built into your calendar as well. It'll help the whole journey far more it'll make it far more enjoyable and help motivate you so much more. All right, topic number 3, what will you need? As well as your roster and allocated tasks, you will also need to stock up on some items to do the process, such as boxes and packing tape, etc., etc. As a free resource, I'll get you to go to have a look at my courses on www.rightsizeyourhome.com.au. Go to course number 2 and you can see a declutter challenge there. There's a free preview available which has the checklist, a handy checklist for you so you can download. All of these items are absolutely essential and you should keep them on hand to keep you going. So I've seen people use that as a bit of an excuse. I've run out of something or I've run out of this or that, and I'll just head off and grab a cup of coffee, go and see someone, pick it up, come back, and then the day's gone. So make sure that you download that list at www.rightsizeyourhome.com.au. The handy checklist for all of the resources that you will need. It's actually in course number 2, Declutter Challenge. So print that out, have it with you, go and purchase your supplies and have plenty of them readily available. And make sure that you've got them ready to go so it's not going to slow you down during the process. Hi there, Belinda Woolrych here, downsizing expert, author, and also Director of Learning at rightsizeyourhome.com.au. I'd like to briefly let you know about our fantastic online training courses, helping downsizers get in control of their downsizing journey. Part 1 of our course is Shifting Your Mindset. This is about understanding the right time, moving roadblocks, and how to be ready for your downsize. Part 2 is the Great Declutter Challenge. This is about planning and getting stuck into your family home declutter. Part 3 is adding value to your family home, how to profit with your best sale price and process. I hope you love the courses as much as me. Give it a go. What are you waiting for? You'll find them and much more at www.rightsizeyourhome.com.au. Tackling each space, topic number 4. Okay, you should be able to pick up an item and make a decision about that item now. Should it stay or should it go? So we've talked about the how much do I love you thing. I know that might sound interesting if you're a first time listener, but that's all in our online courses as well. So what I want you to do is work out a scale of 1 to 10 and actually draw it out and stick it on the wall as you're going through your decluttering days. And then you can actually look at it and reference it in your mind's eye and see where this item might fit on that scale. So for example, if I have an old notebook, for example, how much do I love it? Is it useful? Is it years old? Do I really, really want to have this item packed, wrapped, stored, transported, taken to the next home, unwrapped? Do I really love it? And those items on that scale, every time when you've printed that out and you put it up on the wall, when you visualize it and that item sitting on that scale, do I love it that much that it's going to join me with what should be all my most loved items at my new place? So that will help you if you can ask yourself those questions, and it can be that little Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder saying, how much do I love you? Please look up at your printed chart, visualize the 1 to 10, and where does it sit? So my recommendation would be every item that you look at, whether it be a piece of art, whether it be something on the mantelpiece, whether it be anything, a book, a record, a trinket box, whatever it might be, if you're working out whether it's a 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10, that's going to help you decide if it should stay and come with you, or if it should be donated or given to a friend or recycled or whatever it might be. So remember, if it's going to stay with you, it's got to be packed, wrapped, transported, taken, and at the other end, am I going to be very happy with the rating that I gave it? Should it be near number 10? I would recommend anything pretty much over about a 7 would be a good number. Providing it can fit, of course. If it's too big, then probably not. This information is really crucial to keeping you productive, and it'll help with an effective use of your time. Lighten the load and get rid of things you no longer need. And I would suggest that you just do it once. So if you use the reference framework 1 to 10, how much do I love you? You can make that decision just once. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so up to the last topic. So the top tips and also your challenge homework. So I'm looking forward to you getting stuck into this, and we can talk about it more next podcast and next webinar. So for roster and rewards, I want you to brainstorm what your rewards are. So we talked about a massage, we talked about a golf weekend, hiring a classic car, something like that. What's yours? I'd love to hear about it. So do let me know. And make sure that you roster those in. Top tip number 2 is view the handy resources checklist that's available. If you go to rightsizeyourhome.com.au, have a look in course number 2, the Declutter Challenge, and you can download that free preview. You'll see that when you get to the bottom of the page, you can click on that and download that. Better still, of course, you can even complete the course. It's always available for you. All right, now homework number 3 is actually get a big piece of paper, and I want you to draw that line 1 to 10 with a big love heart at 10 and a 0 at the other. Display it next to where you are working. And then if you keep looking at that every time you're looking at items, it will really help you work out if it's really over a 7. And of course, is it too big? Well, it can't come, but if there's an item there that you really, really love, make sure that you will be happy at the other end in your right-sized home, and you'll be happy that you packed it, wrapped it, transported it, moved it, etc., etc. Top tip number 4, refer back to your calendar and update your hours. Ensure you are working your roster. And it's important every time you do some work that you track your hours. It'll give you a real sense of achievement. The other thing is it can be quite dynamic, so you need to make sure that it's actually accurate. Are you putting enough hours in? Are the days right? Do you need to adjust this roster along the way? All right, well, thank you for listening. We've got, make sure that you do those homeworks. So all of those top items that we had there, rostering, the love scale, make your calendar and do the adjustments. I'll see you at the next webinar and podcast. So 4th out of 4 in the Declutter Challenge. So make sure you tune in next. Send your questions, send your ideas, and send your all of those fun rewards and so on to me. It'd be lovely to hear from you. All right, a couple of learning opportunities for you to upgrade and find out more about what we have to offer. You can, of course, buy the ebook, which is $9.99. The Rightsize Your Home, the Empty Nester's Guide to a Stress-Free Downsize. It's a much deeper dive of this getting your right size right. And I'm sure you will enjoy reading about that. Also, our online courses, I recommend that you start with the first course. It's $49. Rightsize Your Home, course number 1, Shifting Your Mindset. So head to rightsizyourhome.com.au and follow the training courses and select the one that you're after there. And I hope you love it as much as I did writing it. Okay, more exciting topics coming up. We've got 4th out of 4. So talking about the doing and the resources. We've also got a great real estate agent who I've worked many years with again, and we've got a bonus agent interview guide, which I'm sure you'll find interesting. And also the next, one of the next topics is new ways to sell your home. So looking at changes in the market, different ways to do it, opportunities. I'm all about giving choice to right sizes and downsizers, so that covers different options. Thank you so much for coming on board. It's lovely to have you and share this information. And remember, when you believe in yourself, understand you're doing the right thing, this project becomes purely a logistical process. Bye now. See you soon. Belinda Woolrych makes no representation and gives no warranty as to the accuracy of the information and does not accept any responsibility for any errors or inaccuracies in or omissions from the information contained herein, whether negligent or otherwise, and shall not be liable for any loss or damage howsoever arising as a result of any person acting or refraining from acting in reliance on any information contained herein. No listener or workshop attendee shall rely solely on the information contained in this, as it does not purport to be comprehensive to render specific advice. This disclaimer does not purport to exclude any warranties implied by law which may not be lawfully excluded. This workshop, which includes any resources supplied, is only for the use of the intended recipients and is confidential and/or privileged. Belinda Woolrych shall not be liable for any errors, omissions, viruses, loss and/or damage arising from using, opening or transmitting this workshop.